Hello there, it's been a while. I'm standing here in my studio, which is also slowly becoming a mini home gallery. I'm doing a lot of printing here, as you can also see here in the background. And well, if you ever visit the Netherlands and you want to visit me, you want to visit this mini gallery, if you're interested in buying a book or print, you're welcome. Just send me an email and we can make an appointment. About the book, my book is back in stock, The Beauty of the Netherlands. It was actually sold out during the holidays because, yeah, so many people ordered it. I didn't expect that, but it's back in stock since recently. That's the third print run, so very happy with that. So yeah, if you still want to order a book, go do so on my website. Anyway, this video is about the new BenQ screen, the PD2770u. And that's a PD screen. And you know, people familiar with BenQ may be wondering, but Albert, you normally talk about the SW screens for photographers. Yes, but there's, you know, something more going on with the screen. That's why I'm going to talk about it in this video. So with that said, let's dive into the video about the PD2770u. Full disclaimer, I am a BenQ Europe ambassador. I have been using their screens for about 6-7 years now, and I have been an ambassador for I think about 2 to 3 years now. So I already mentioned it, I do quite some printing here at home, and for that I need color accurate screens. And if you browse my YouTube channel, you will see several videos about the BenQ screens. They are known to be color accurate and uniform, which is important for me when doing prints, especially the percentage of AdobeRGB. The SW line, the newest one, the SW272u, you can find the video about it on my channel as well, how I use that screen and how I set it up to go from a photo to printing. So if you're interested in that workflow, definitely check out that video. Well, this is the PD, the professional design lineup of BenQ, the 2770u, the new flagship in the design lineup, the PD lineup. And why I'm talking about it, because this one now also has 99% AdobeRGB. And on top of that, it has a built-in hardware calibrator. So this screen is actually also very interesting for photographers right now because of the percentage AdobeRGB. 99% AdobeRGB, color accuracy, and uniform is very important. It makes sure that the photos that I see on the screen, if I calibrate it correctly, will match my print very well. Okay, that's the main point here. All right, so having said that, let's start to talk more about this one. If we look at the screen, yeah, it looks nice, a little bit of a chrome look here with a nice, I mean, if you're used to the BenQ monitors, they all look nice with some similar visual elements. However, this part, you see this part is the most important part of this monitor, I would say. It's the inbuilt calibration unit. So this monitor now has an inbuilt calibrator. So you don't need to use anymore an external device like a Calibrite or i1 Display Pro that I use myself. It has an inbuilt calibrator, and I'm going to show you all about it very soon, how that works. Let's first talk about the specifications of the screen. So it's a 4K 16:9 resolution. I know that some people really want this kind of screen in 5K. Unfortunately, not yet. 4K 16:9. It's 60 Hz. It's 1000:1 contrast ratio. 99% AdobeRGB, like I mentioned before, important for photographers. 100% sRGB, 100% DCI-P3. So those are important specifications for designers and photographers as well. Brightness 400 nits, HDR support, HDR10 and HLG, and as you can see, it's a matte panel like we are used to from BenQ. However, I should mention that this panel is not, it has a little bit of reflection, like a tiny bit, like more than my SW272u, for example. Okay, so it's, yeah, you don't notice it that much, to be honest, but I should mention it's slightly different. Well, the stand, of course, it can go up and down, it can go in portrait mode, yeah, like we are used to from all the BenQ screens. And what is nice to mention now, let me actually get that here, is the shading hood. So We have a new shading hood. You see it's one piece shading hood, and it's magnetic. So it's super easy to attach and to remove. Let me actually do that. So it's magnetic. So I just click it. It clicks into place. Super easy, super fast. Want to remove it again? Just take it out, fold it, and you put it back. So very easy to do. Of course, it has the standard hotkey pack that we are used to from BenQ as well. This beautiful round thing. And now it has an info button. So you press I and you can see all the information, the color temperature, the color gamut, everything you can see with the info button. It's now here. Quite useful. Then let's look at the connectivity. It has two HDMI ports, HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, then two USB-C ports. One of them is 96 watts, so the connectivity goes through that cable, one cable. Then it also has kind of a USB hub built in with two normal USB ports and a headphone jack that you can use. And then there's one port that I should mention, which is the LAN port. You can connect this monitor together with other screens. So that's really useful for example, studios, design studios, people with multiple screens. You can connect them all together, and then you can, for example, schedule that they calibrate every one of them in the morning or at night when no one is there, so that when people come there, go to work, they are all like on exactly the same colors. Yeah, so those are the specifications, and then the most important thing, this thing, the hardware calibration unit, so that you do not have to use the external devices anymore. So let me actually give you a demo of how you use this hardware calibration unit and how it makes my life easier. Alright, so I'm using the hotpack now, going into the menu. I'm not going through the whole menu. It's similar to other BenQ screens, but the most important thing here is this one here, the auto calibration. So we can go in here and then we can go to execute. Now it's set to no. And what's important that it says here, it's recommended to warm up the monitor for 30 to 60 minutes. Well, if the monitor is not on for 30 minutes yet, it will not let you calibrate. It's simple as that. It will not run the calibration. Let's go back in here. So that's what it says here. So mode select, here's interesting. So I set it to AdobeRGB now, but we can also do sRGB. We can do everything at once in one calibration. Well, the more we put here, of course, a little bit longer it takes. So right now, for demonstration purposes, I'm only going to do AdobeRGB. Okay, let's go back here. And then the light sensor. So we can actually measure the ambient light. There's a light sensor right here on top of the screen, and it measures the ambient light here in the space. So we can turn that on, and it will then adjust the brightness also to be perfect for the room that you are working on. Of course, it's important to mention that if the brightness changes in your room, you need to do that again, or you can just adjust manually the brightness of the screen. And then the scheduling, I set it to weekly here. So yeah, every 167 hours, it will run this this calibration. And we can set it at night, and it will automatically run this calibration. So now that we have all this set up, we can go to execute. The screen is already on for a while, so it should work. Okay, let's do it. Auto calibration is scheduled. If you do nothing, the calibration will start. Okay, yes, let's go. And there it goes. So it pops out here, and then I will just let it run. And you can see at the bottom right, there's the window, and you can see the percentage of the calibration. Yeah, so 2% now, and we just let it run, and then after it's done, we are done. It's calibrated and done. So it's as simple as that. Very simple to do, no complicated menus. So I'm just going to speed up the video now. All right, calibration now almost complete. It pops back, calibration result, successful, click done, and that's it. We are calibrated, so it's as easy as that. Okay, that was the hardware calibration of this screen. Now let's talk about some other things of this screen, because it's the PD. It's the PD2770u, the PD, Professional Design. Now, I have always said that the SW lineup of BenQ is for photographers. And that's true, that's still the case, because of its 99% AdobeRGB coverage. But now, this screen also covers AdobeRGB 99%. So basically, it's getting a little bit of overlap. So this is you could call it a hybrid screen. It's a screen for designers, but now also for photographers. So then, which one should you get is the question. Well, to be honest, I have both the SW272U, I also have the SW321C, and now I put this one, the PD2770U, next to my SW272U. And to be very honest, they are equally good. They both cover 99% AdobeRGB for photographers. Now, a big plus, of course, about this screen is that it has the hardware calibration unit built in. It makes your life easier. Another thing also is that it's more expensive. So if people would ask me now, at this moment, which BenQ screen to buy, as a photographer who is doing printing, where AdobeRGB 99% is important, then I would say, if you want to spend the extra money, get this one. For photographers that already have a BenQ screen, like the great SW272U or the bigger 321C, for example, would you need to buy this one? In my opinion, absolutely not, because you will already have your hardware calibration device, a Calibrite or another device, right? So yeah, with that, don't worry, the screen is like not much better. It's just a hybrid screen, you know, that covers a lot of things. If you do not have a BenQ screen yet, or a very old one, this one is great to get. Now, I was invited for a BenQ event for ambassadors recently, and I talked, of course, with BenQ about the future, about everything, and about this. I also told them it's getting quite confusing, you know, with the naming. Now the PD, but it's also for photographers, and they're saying, yes, that's true. It is the case. It is what it is. They're kind of trying to, you know, they're making the PD lineup more hybrid for everything. They also talked a lot about their AccuColor technology, which focuses on uniformity, color consistency, and color accuracy. That's always super important for BenQ. And of course, we can see why, especially with this lineup, the PD and the SW. And they're rolling out promotions, a new sub-brand kind of, which is called AccuColor Creative Pro. So we will see more about that this year. But anyway, their focus is on the uniformity of the screens and the color accuracy. Well, to sum things up, it looks like the PD lineup, the new PD2770U, is now also great for us photographers. That's the main point. Then the second very important point, it has the built-in hardware calibration unit, which makes our life very easy. We can schedule it weekly, every night. And you know, when we go to edit our photos in the morning or whenever, our screen is calibrated. That's two most important things. Then of course it has a network port for studios that work together with many screens. Can be very useful, exact color accuracy over all the screens. So those are the main points. It's really up to you if you need this screen. If you have an older BenQ screen, it will be great to buy this one. If you don't have one yet, this is a great hybrid for everything. Get this one. And well, I hope you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Very happy to answer them, and I hope to see you in the next one.